Hi, and welcome to the Diamond Report for Sunday, April 23rd, 2017. This is your host, Doug Diamond. It's currently 7:03 p.m., and I've got us looking at Earthquake 3D, the last 48 hours worth of earthquakes worldwide. And I just wanted to show you a few swarms that were going on around the planet. In this area of the magnitude 6.0 that happened yesterday or so, we do have some swarming activities from fours, I guess 3s, 4s, and 5s in that area, which is not out of the ordinary by any stretch. And then also another smaller swarm in Central America, 2s and 3s there. Again, pretty normal. A swarm is just a release of pressure with smaller quakes instead of one larger quake. We had a swarm going on near the Philippines for several days in a row last week. That seems to have quieted down. Now we have a release of a magnitude 5.2 in that area. So that's the equivalent of 10 4s, just as an example, or roughly 10 4s. And then we've got a swarm going on as well in New Zealand, which is certainly normal. That's mostly all 2s right there. And then the main swarm, though, that we have going on is another series of 2s. And that is in Western Turkey. We talked about this a little bit yesterday in the earthquake update. And you can see them here stacked up there in the center of the screen. And mostly Turkey, and then out to sea a little bit out here as well. But primarily it's Western Turkey. And then another smaller swarm in Iran, right here, some 2s. And then also in Italy, some more 2s. So again, nothing to be alarmed over by any stretch of the imagination. It's just, it's just a normal release of pressure. We've seen quite a few smaller swarms around the globe lately, as well as quite a few magnitude 5s and those 2 or 3 6s that I mentioned in the earthquake update yesterday that we've seen over the last week or so. But that's all I had for today's earthquake update. Let's move on to the headlines. I mentioned this in the Diamond Report yesterday. The hashtag MarchForScience losers leave trash all over the streets of D.C. after their protest concludes. How environmental. And here's a little glimpse of how these environmental scientists left trash all over the place. But the main thing about this is that they're protesting Trump and his, quote, anti-science stance. But what they support is the religion of science, Scientism. And that is their unadulterated adherence to everything, anything and everything in a scientific journal. And that is their religious document. That is their God. And if it's not in the science journal, then they can't possibly believe it, and they can't believe that it could be true. Geoengineering is a good example of that. So their protest, to me, should fall on deaf ears, because they're mostly concerned about their religion, which they call science, but true science is never settled. And you hear that sometimes from the people that are pro-vaccine, that the science is settled. But real science is never settled. You're always looking for the next part of the equation that gives you a fuller picture of the real scientific data that you seek. France votes for new president amid high security. About 50,000 police and 7,000 soldiers are being deployed across the country to secure polling. That's on BBC. Bill Maher goes to bat for Ann Coulter after UC Berkeley cancels her speech. Berkeley, this is a quote from Bill Maher, Berkeley, you know, you used to be the cradle of free speech, and now it's just the cradle for effing babies. And I actually never agree with Bill Maher on anything, but he's right about that. That's on the Daily Caller. FBI Director James Comey distrusted former Attorney General Loretta Lynch because she tried to play down the investigation into Clinton's emails. Comey and other FBI officials felt Lynch and others in the Justice Department had provided Clinton with political cover. Well, yeah, that was their job. That's on the Daily Mail. Also from the Daily Mail, President Trump and Melania insist on personally awarding Purple Heart to Afghanistan veteran. The trip marked the president's first visit to a military hospital. And more threats from North Korea. North Korea threatens nuclear war ahead of Trump meeting with UN Security Council. That's on CBS News. At some point, you would think he's going to either have to put up or shut up. Elon Musk claims transhuman Neuralink, next stage of human evolution. The elites attempt breakaway civilization from the rest of humanity. That's exactly what it's about. Elon Musk and the other usual suspects like Ray Kurzweil often talk about transhumanism and how it's the next great hope for humanity, but actually what they mean is it's their own hope. They want to make sure that the rest of us are not around so that they can ascend and merge with machines and live forever. That's their goal. U.S. citizen detained in North Korea. Man was engaged in aid and relief programs to North Korea. That's on Yonhap News. FBI arrests Muslims during female genital mutilation clinic bust. Islamic law is spreading in the U.S. That's from Kit Daniels. New Twitter alternative creates platform for opposing views. Free market solutions to globalism. Yes, I'm on gab.ai. If you go there, gab.ai/diamond disc. Look me up on there. And Alex Jones just summed up what I said earlier. Hashtag science is real is fake science. More establishment propaganda. That's exactly what it is. It's their own religion. And what I would consider a good sign, LePen and Macron advance. Mainstream parties eliminated. Ruling Socialist Party finishes 5th. Upheaval. Establishment parties in France eliminated in first round. So what does that tell you then? What will happen? Will they have some sort of emergency situation where they're going to suspend this election and have it not count? Is that what they're going to do? Bose headphones spy on listeners. That's according to a lawsuit. Bose has wholesale disregard for the privacy of customers. Islamic law spreads in the West, but populism rises to resist. And speaking of resisting Islam, I know it's not in the West, but Poland, I feel like, has been on the right side of things lately. Here's a video, flashback to 2015, November of 2015. Poland to Muslims, here, Jesus is our king, so get out. If the mainstream media doesn't report an event, it never happened, right? Well, they didn't report this march of what looks to be millions, the largest in Poland's history, but nothing but crickets from the mainstream media. As I keep saying, Poland has it figured out. America should be doing this, but people are too afraid of offending people. And it's arguable that the U.S. is a Christian nation anymore. They state that in the video, that the U.S. is a Christian nation, which I don't agree with. Obama said it's not. And that's about the only thing he ever said that I agree with. Still, though, it's inspiring to see Poland stand up for the one true God and say no to Islam. That was my Facebook post from earlier today, 6 hours ago. And anyway, I just wanted to bring your attention to that. It's a really good video. Just look it up on YouTube. Poland to Muslims. Here, Jesus is our king, so get out. And this is your weekly reminder. It's Sunday, but Dane Wigington released this yesterday, April 22nd. Geoengineering Watch Global Alert News. He publishes a new hour-long radio program every Saturday morning. It's broadcast on several terrestrial radio stations and also internet radio stations, but you can go listen to it every week, Saturday or any other day of the week, just by going to geoengineeringwatch.org and then scrolling over here to the right-hand column, and you'll see it. It'll say Global Alert News and then the date of Saturday, whatever the Saturday nearest to you is. And this week is a particularly good show. It talks about headlines from all over the globe, confirming catastrophes and conflicts are accelerating on every front. So give this a listen. Highly recommended. You'll learn a lot in just that, just under an hour. And feel free to peruse the rest of the site. We keep adding new content to this site all the time, especially the Global Meltdown section, Global Flashpoints section, and I'm adding those for Dane, not daily, but several times a week. And then, of course, he does the main articles that you see along the right-hand column over here. So anyway, please go to geoengineeringwatch.org for more information, and feel free to leave a comment on any of those posts. Visualizing the collapse of the middle class in 20 major U.S. cities. That's on Zero Hedge. The retail bubble has now burst. A record 8,640 stores are closing in 2017. That's also on Zero Hedge. More North Korean madness. North Korea arrests U.S. citizen, threatens to sink U.S. aircraft carrier as Japan deploys warships. North Korean nukes funded from the UK. London firm raises millions for Kim Jong-un's regime. Gee, I wonder if they work for the Clintons. French election terror alert, polling stations evacuated as police find a shotgun. Marine Le Pen will break down the European Union even if she loses, experts claim. That's from the Express. A U-turn. Trump seems to continue Obama administration plan to divide Syria. That's on Sputnik News. I know, I'm not sure what's going on there, but he's doing a lot of the wrong things as far as our foreign policy and things in other parts of the world that's not the United States. U.S. threat of war forces North Korea into siege state mentality. That's on RT. New video of Antifa member and Professor Eric Clanton beating Trump supporters with a bike lock. Where is the media? That's on Gateway Pundit. Well, the media is not going to report that. What a porker. Kim Jong-un is all smiles as he visits a pig farm while 2 million of his subjects starve. French nationals in London forced to wait more than 3 hours to vote in presidential elections as 400,000 expats cram into just 3 polling stations. Madame Frexit set for triumph after Paris terror attack. Marine Le Pen is poised for a historic breakthrough in France's nail-biting presidential race. And just as I said, religion. Scientism is a religion. March for Science and Earth Day combine to promote end times Gaia worship and pagan idolatry. From the Daily Star, breaking, gunman at large in France after town center shooting on election day. Sessions on Dreamers. Everyone that enters the country unlawfully is subject to being deported. That's from Breitbart. And from Greg Hunter on USAWatchdog.com, captains of dollar are panicked, says Bill Holter. I have long said that because of the derivatives outstanding today, once something blows up, the whole system blows up within 48 hours. Develop your country, not your WMDs. Australian FM hits back at North Korea's missile threat. That's on RT. Too far, Tony. Blair hints at a return to politics to stop the UK being hijacked by Brexiteers. Yeah, he mentioned that before. That's on the Express. From the Gateway Pundit, wow. Leftist Vanity Fair rips into Chelsea Clinton. Quote, please God, stop Chelsea. I couldn't agree more with that, actually. And from the Free Thought Project, paradigm shift, RFK Jr. goes off on vaccine safety live on TV and no one attacks him. Let's hope he stays safe and doesn't end up like some of the other anti-vaccine folks. Operation Toxic Dagger. Police and Marines secretly prepare for deadly ISIS attack in UK. That's from the Express. Israeli-American man, 18, is charged with threatening Jewish centers and schools and flights across the U.S. with a bloodbath. Global Tribunal concludes that Monsanto is probably guilty of ecocide and war crimes. That's on the Free Thought Project. Report FBI was willing to pay 50 grand for fake Trump dossier. Trump warns Democrats Obamacare will die soon without big money. That's on Zero Hedge. North Korea preparing nuclear testing site as Trump defense chief dismisses Kim threat. Trump throws campaign aide in jail for elite pedo ring ties. And a banker says, I was told to sacrifice children at an Illuminati party. Mulvaney, deal to avoid government shutdown could come today, but won't due to border wall. DHS Chief Kelly says Trump will be insistent on funding for border wall. That's on Breitbart. From naturalnews.com, grid down in San Francisco, New York, and LA. What happens when all major cities lose power? Mexico will eventually pay for the border wall in some form, Trump pledges, as he bashes Democrats for not wanting to pay for his campaign promise as government shutdown looms. Is Google seeking to control entire internet and execute a news blackout? That's from Dave Hodges of the Common Sense Show. Boy, it sure seems like it. Tanks on the move near Oroville Dam. Big story unfolding. That's also from Dave Hodges. Judge Janine says shutting down free speech on college campuses pushing the U.S. toward fascism. I think we're already there. That's on Breitbart. Russia claiming U.S. shoreline lined with nuclear mole missiles. That's from Dave Hodges as well. South Africa on its knees. Over 1 million people are descending on Bloemfontein for massive prayer gathering. There will be blood. The left prepares for war after Berkeley beatdown with combat training, better equipment, and guns. As we and others like Brandon Smith of Alt-Market previously warned, the left will resort to large-scale violence to stop fascism. Imagine that. Thousands of ex-Taliban fighters may have entered Germany, according to a report that's on Reuters. How reality is being manufactured. Now, if you control the information, you control the world. That's why they are cracking down so aggressively on independent media. That's from activistpost.com. Part 3, Unearthing the Lost World of the Cloud Eaters. Compelling evidence of the incursions of giants, their extraordinary technology, and imminent return. That's on Skywatch TV. Also from Skywatch TV, tomorrow, when editing your child's genetic makeup with Cloud Eaters DNA is mandatory and praying Christians are imprisoned for refusing. Doctors are getting used to killing. They're getting good at it. We've already crossed the line from voluntary to involuntary euthanasia. What's next for the medical cult of death? That's on stream.org. Professor of social epistemology wants you to commit suicide so transhumanists can advance their agenda. And Steve says, my suggestion is Mr. Fuller should set the standard for others and lead the way. Everyone but them is what they propose. That's on Skywatch TV. From the Chicago Tribune, don't count on that government pension. Millions of Americans are expecting to receive a pension from the city or state that employs them. Many will be in for a terrible surprise, according to the nonprofit organization Truth in Accounting. Hundreds of trucks stuck at Port of Long Beach after power outage. So yet another power outage. That's from abc7.com. And here's the link to the video that I mentioned earlier about the march in Poland, where they're marching in the streets against the Islamic invasion and in defense of Christianity. Definitely a must-watch. Patriots versus Antifa. When will Americans realize we are already in a civil war? That's from All News Pipeline. Did Russia shoot down U.S. missiles in Syria? Dr. Theodore Karasik interview. That's a YouTube video. Russia has one superweapon America can't seem to match. That's also a YouTube video. North Korea says it's ready to sink U.S. aircraft carrier Carl Vinson with a single strike as it joins Japanese destroyers in Western Pacific. That's from the Daily Mail. It's all illusions and lies. The supernova debt bubble is about to trigger the death knell of the global financial system. That's from King World News. And over on LostArtsRadio.com, if you click on articles or news, you'll get this page that I've recently added a bunch of new articles from around the web to. Richard Sachs, the host of Lost Arts Radio, asked me to add these important articles. From Natural News, William Shatner targeted by vaccine bullies in vicious campaign to silence tweets about autism. It's an important read. From Healthy Lifestyle Arena, an over-the-counter way to keep your DNA young. From Vaccine Impact, and Christina England, who has been on Lost Arts Radio before, toddler permanently brain damaged by a mystery combination vaccination that her parents did not consent to. And from Vaxxter, why you should never sign Refusal to Vaccinate document. That's a really important read. It's quite twisted what they're doing. Diabolical, I think, was the best word to describe that. The Vaccine Revolution for Truth. That's also from Vaccine Impact. From Public News Service, a report on technology overuse harmful to children. And then I mentioned this one last night. What are 5G and the Internet of Things? From whatis5g.info. Breast cancer bombshell. Women being conned into mastectomy surgery by doctors who scare them with false genetic testing results, warn Stanford medical researchers. That's from Natural News. Scientists for Wired Technology. That's advocacy based on scientists' research of the hazards of radio frequency microwave radiation. It's all about wiring products that were all used to being wireless, like iPads and different things like that. Free American pastor Andrew Brunson. That's from ACLJ. That's a petition to go there and sign. He's imprisoned in Turkey. Attorney of 25 years litigating in vaccine court says the system is rigged. Families cruelly oppressed. That's by attorney Robert Moxley, who's also been a guest on Lost Arts Radio. Cell tower coming soon notice. This is a generic 4G and 5G flyer to be adapted to the needs of your community. And you can print that out and then fill it out and then use it however you need to. Okay, that's all for the Diamond Report today. Thanks for listening and watching. And thank you for those who are sharing this video. I sure appreciate that. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/The Diamond Report. I also post the daily videos to there as well as YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. If you're on Facebook, please like my Facebook page, and you'll get those notices just automatically as I add the videos each day. As I said a couple days ago, I'm still debating whether or not I want to keep this up as a daily thing, but I'm definitely going to keep the show going, whether it's daily or weekly or a couple times a week. I'm not sure yet. I'm still going to kind of keep weighing the different options that I've got. And I'm going to continue with my multiple postings per day on Facebook. I've pretty much decided to do that. So, but anyway, thanks again for everything that you all have contributed as far as your time spent watching these videos. And I sure appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow.